So please make sure you've done through page 108 in your workbook before you are watching this video. So go ahead and read the problem. And this is not the problem that's in your workbook. This is a different problem. So again, we're going to start defining variables, and T is representing the time since thrown, and the f of t is representing the height of the object. And if we draw a picture, so we have our cliff here, the thing's going woo down, and so this is our ground. The cliff is here, and here's our object going down. It's asking us to find what's the maximum height of the object. Now, it started at 75 feet, but theoretically it's been thrown up and it goes higher than 75 feet. So I want you to think about this equation and what that equation would look like if we were to graph it. And so if you did through page 108, you saw that since A is negative, then it's going to be an opening down parabola, which means the maximum height, or the y value, because that's your f of t, right? And this would be a good idea. Let's do this. Let's do x comma y. What's the x in this case? It's a t, and the y is the f of t. So x is like your t, y is your f of t, and then I'm going to write in words what that is. So it's time and then height. So x, t, time, all the same thing. Y, f of t, height, all the same thing. So if it's asking us to find the maximum height, aren't we looking for the maximum height, which is the maximum f of t, which is the maximum y value? So that maximum y value, if it opens down, we talked about earlier that it would be up here. And what's the point that's up here called? It's called your vertex. So we need to go ahead and find the vertex. And reminder, to find the vertex, we have the formula opposite of b over 2a, comma, you know. So if we do opposite of b over 2a, we get negative 8 over 2 times negative 4.9. Now this is a word problem, so we're going to have to use decimals, because if we say to somebody it's 8 divided by 9.8, that's not going to make much sense to them. So give me a decimal and round it to maybe 2 places. Actually, let's do 3. So I have 8.16. It's a 6. Now that 0.816 represents the x, the t, the time. So 0.816 is a time, and it's the time at this vertex point. So it's the time right here. Now, if we think about what we're being asked to find, what's the maximum height? Well, that's not it. That's not the maximum height. The maximum height would be the y value right there. So how do we find the y value right there? We plug the x value in. So go ahead and plug the x value in to find your y value. Okay, so did you get 78.26? 78.26. So answering the question, we were asked to find the maximum height. And which variable does this correspond to? That corresponds to f of t. And what keywords? Well, what is the maximum height? Briefly describe in words the method. We're going to use find the vertex. But keep in mind that in this case, the first number we got wasn't the answer. The first number we got the x, but we needed the y value. So answering the question, 78.26 meters. Make sure you label everything. So 78.26 meters is the maximum height. Now, the second question is find the number of seconds it took for the object to reach its maximum height. Well, that's the x value, right? Time, seconds, x, t, time, seconds, all that is the same. And we're looking for the time it reached the maximum height, which is right here. So the time that it took to get here, we have already found, was 0.816. So we had to find that first, and you're going to label it. So now, along with these two types of questions, I can ask you the questions that we had before. I can ask you, what's the height at a certain number of seconds? So if I give you seconds, if I say, well, what's the height after 3 seconds, we're going to put 3 in for x, and we're going to figure out what the y value is. Or if I ask you how many seconds does it take to reach 50 feet, then we're going to put 50 in for the y, and you're going to solve for the t. So right here, keep this in mind. That'll help you determine what you're looking for. Now go ahead and do the rest of them and make sure you check your work.